F1's silly season has seen some crazy moves this year, but in recent weeks it's been rather silent, and according to Magnussen, this has to do with one particular driver, Carlos Sainz. Luckily for Magnussen and us, Carlos Sainz has stated he hopes to make a decision on his future for 2025 very soon. He revealed this at the Barcelona GP Media Day, as he does not want to wait any longer to select which Formula One team he will compete for in 2025, and intends to ensure his future in the next weeks. The Spaniard has long been pondering his choices as he prepares to leave Ferrari at the conclusion of the season, and his decision is anticipated to be between Williams and Sauber Audi for next year. Long-shot alternatives at Red Bull and Mercedes have shrunk, with the former retaining Sergio Perez on an apparent 1+1 agreement, and the latter anticipated to elevate young prospect Andrea Kimi Antonelli to a race drive in 2025 in lieu of Ferrari-bound Lewis Hamilton. With the current Ferrari driver seen as the top choice for several teams on the grid, Haas driver Magnussen feels that once his future destination is determined, the rest of the market will fall into place. When asked what the proverbial cork in the bottle in the driver market is this season, Magnussen said while sitting next to Sainz, "Carlos is the cork in the bottle. I think a lot of guys are waiting for him to make a move, and then, eventually, all the other pieces of the puzzle will fall. So yeah, that's the truth of that." Magnussen is one of the drivers whose future is still uncertain beyond the end of the season, and while he admits it is not the easiest situation for him to be in, having previously spent time away from Formula One, he is taking a relaxed approach to the rest of the season. "I think not knowing your future is of course not a comfortable situation," according to him. However, Magnussen hasn't lost hope yet. "We're very early in the year, so it's in that way a different situation than I've tried before. I think all the decisions will be made. I think likely in the next weeks or so. So it's pretty early, but we'll see how it all ends up." Magnussen mentions a decision in a few weeks, and if Sainz is the bottle, it's easy to assume he will also make his decision soon, and that's exactly what Sainz himself has also stated. "The latest is that a decision will be taken very soon. I don't want to wait any longer," Sainz said. "I think it's getting to a point where it's obviously taking space out of my head for quite a few weeks and months, and I think it's obviously time to make a decision. I'm still not sure one way or another. It's still something that I'm discussing with my team and brainstorming. It's been a very hectic few couple of weeks after Canada for me, so I haven't had time to really sit down and take a decision, and this is what I will target in the next few weeks." Sainz said it was impossible to make a choice based on his possibilities in 2026, describing it as a lottery to try to anticipate anything so quickly. He stated that this implies that the expected success in 2025 has an influence, while also attempting to be conscious of the club's long-term goals. "I think 2026, guessing now in 2024 who's going to be performing better, it's almost impossible," according to him. "I use the term a bit of a lottery, or a coin toss to see who's going to be quicker in 26, given that the regulation is so different. So 2025 becomes important at that stage if I cannot predict 26, and I don't know who's going to be performing better. But it is also the long term. It is also trying to understand the power unit side. It's trying to understand the team dynamics. All these factors come into play when taking a decision. That's why it's taking long, and it's taking time for me to find some time within myself to take the decision." Sainz is thought to be at the top of Williams' wish list to partner Alex Albon in 2025, but he has also been courted by Audi, which has reportedly presented a persuasive offer to the driver to join Nico Hülkenberg at Hinwil. Where do you see Sainz ending up? Next to Sainz and Magnussen, Zhou is also poised to make his move known in a couple of weeks, and this has come to light due to Zhou being affiliated with a new partner on the grid, the Geely Group, which is invested in Alpine. Zhou Guanyu acknowledged a very close relationship with Geely Group in Barcelona. "On my side, let's say, with the options still available, of course, fair to say I'm talking to all the options and trying to figure out what is the best together," Zhou told in Barcelona. "And of course, the main priority remains, try to stay on the grid for next season. But yeah, further details, nothing has been confirmed. So we need a little bit longer, of course, to be understanding exactly where I'm heading off or staying in the future." When asked about his connections to Geely and whether their new partnership with Renault may make Alpine a realistic option for him starting next season, he reaffirmed his prior working relationship with them and stated that he is very close to the company, but that it is not influencing his choice for the time being. All I can say is that, for myself, personally, I've been already working together with Geely Group. I've been an ambassador for their cars. Zika is from their group, so I'm very close with them. Of course, they still have a high interest around motorsports, on Formula One in general. I think where I'm heading, they will try to help me in that side, which is nice to have. But then, knowing they have a good connection with Alpine, it's not really making my decision more where I'm going to be heading off, but that's what they are doing with their own road cars. But yeah, I'm convinced that they will try everything for me and also myself together with my manager group, but nothing else to add really, on that side of things. For sure, they have interest in this sport in Formula One, and I think, especially, they want to definitely come back to Formula One, but which way, we need to see, nothing more to add. Of course, the way I've always done is more about a partnership, and in a very good way. Close, let's say partnership, but the rest, we need to see what their strategy is in terms of building up the brand and marketing they have. Which drivers do you see ending up at the lower teams? Let us know your predictions in the comments down below. The driver market is red hot right now, but there is also one free agent available for next year that has perhaps gained the most attention in Formula One this year, Adrian Newey. And as Adrian Newey's F1 future, if he decides to remain in the sport, is still unknown, rumours are obviously flying around. But the newest speculation sees the design genius joining Aston Martin next. And this is not just a lousy rumour, with Newey's official line being that he wants to take an initial step back from F1 because he's a bit tired after more than 40 years at the forefront of motorsport. Speculation has grown that Fred Vasseur's Ferrari could be the team to attract him as Lawrence Stroll continues to build up the Silverstone-based squad. With a brand new manufacturing site built which is currently being developed as the previous Jordan plant is totally renovated, the operation has emerged as a significant competitor in Formula One, with Stroll's investment aimed at challenging the traditional frontrunners. Securing the likes of Newey and reuniting him with former Red Bull comrade Dan Fallows would be a significant coup for Aston Martin, and according to paddock rumours, the Silverstone base side is now a top candidate for Newey's signing. Newey is said to have paid an undercover visit to the Aston Martin facility recently, with a source telling that a deal may already be in place between the two sides. A request for clarification from Aston Martin was responded to with a spokesperson saying, "The Aston Martin Aramco F1 team is a very appealing project with Lawrence Stroll's vision, a state-of-the-art new technology campus, and exciting partnerships with Aramco and Honda." Many high-profile individuals across all areas of the team are linked to the project, but we don't have anything to announce. With a transfer to Ferrari forcing Newey to relocate to Italy, a UK-based team is said to still have an advantage in terms of preference for Newey if he wants to remain in F1 once his tenure at Red Bull ends. A move to Aston Martin would also be a new competitive boost for Newey, who joined Red Bull at an early period in the team's growth, and played a significant role in growing the promising outfit into the monster it is today. With Stroll investing in the former Jordan and Force India team's personnel and infrastructure, Newey has previously expressed a desire to work with two-time F1 world champion Fernando Alonso, which has now become a reality after the Spaniard re-signed with the British team. "Working with Fernando and Lewis Hamilton would have been fabulous, but it never happened," he said. "It's just circumstance sometimes. That's the way it is." A transfer to Aston Martin would also reconnect Newey with the Valkyrie, the hypercar he first oversaw when Aston Martin and Red Bull partnered on the hybrid sports car over a decade ago. But when Fernando Alonso was asked about the potential transfer, he sought to dissociate Aston Martin from rumours. When asked if he would try to contact with Newey to urge him to join Aston Martin next season, Alonso said he had noticed the current stories, but wanted to avoid speculation. "There are many questions on that," Alonso said. "Yeah, I read the rumours, read the news, but is this coming from the same source and the same websites of 1 week ago? He was in Ferrari, and the announcement was at 12 o'clock before the Canada race. So, rumours are rumours." When pressed on what he would say to Newey to try and convince him to come to Aston Martin in future, Alonso added, "That keeps between him and me." What do you think? Could this crazy transfer top off silly season for this year? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.